I hope you're having a good day. Today in maths we are going to be measuring capacity. So we've measured length and height and we have measured mass and weight, and now we are moving on to capacity. So before we start our learning and find out what capacity is, can you please write the short date and your LI to explore capacity with different containers and the 28/04/2020. Pause the video to complete this. What is capacity? Now pause the video to talk about what you think capacity might be with your adult. The capacity of a container is how much water it can hold. So, for example, this big red bucket has a bigger capacity than a little mug because it can fit more water in the bucket than in the mug. So the capacity of the red bucket is bigger than the capacity of the small mug because we can fit more water into the bucket than the mug. Pause the video to tell me which of these containers would have a larger capacity, the small blue one or the red one. The red bucket has the largest capacity because it is bigger and could hold more water. So here we have some new vocab to learn. This jug is showing that it is full, empty, half full or half empty. So when something is filled halfway, we can say that it is half full or half empty. They mean the same thing. Nearly full. So it's got a lot of liquid in there, a lot of water. It's not full and it's not halfway, it is nearly full. Nearly empty. So there's a little bit, it's not empty or half empty, there's a little bit, so it's nearly empty. Pause the video to see if you can join these words to the images. Find which jug is full, empty, half full, nearly empty or nearly full. Pause the video to complete this. And the answers are full, half full, nearly full, nearly empty and empty. Well done if you got all of those correct. If you thought that was a bit tricky, go back in the video a little bit more to check what these words mean. Now it's your turn. Can you get some different containers and fill them to be full, half empty, almost empty and almost full? Remember, almost empty and almost full means the same as nearly empty and nearly full. So some examples that you could have are your water bottle, different sized buckets, a glass or a mug. Now remember, get to your containers and fill them to be full, half empty, or remember that also means half full, almost empty, that means nearly empty, and almost full, that means nearly full. Pause the video to complete this. Remember, you can take pictures and send them to the Year 1 email address so that we can see what you have been filling. Use the words more or less to compare the containers. Remember, the word more means it's getting bigger and the word less means that it is smaller. Pause the video to complete these sentences. A has something than B and A has something than B. The answers are, with the orange ones, A has less than B, so we can see that it's got less liquid in here. And A has more than B, so we can see that A is half full and B is nearly empty. Well done if you got those correct. Put these in order from empty to full. So A is nearly full, B is empty, C is half full or half empty, and D is full. Now place these in order from empty to full. The answers are B is empty, C is nearly empty, A is nearly full, and D is full. So the order would be B, C, A, D. Well done if you got that all correct. Now for your extension challenge, Timmy says the tallest container holds the most liquid. And identical containers, so that means containers that are exactly the same, can have a different capacity. Are these sentences always true, sometimes true, or never true? Think about them and then write the answers in your workbooks. The answers are: the tallest container holds the most liquid. That can be sometimes true, but just because something is tall doesn't mean that it will have more capacity than something that is wide. Identical containers can have a different capacity. That is never true. If the containers are identical, remember, if the containers are the same, they will have the same capacity, so they can fit the same amount of liquid inside them. But they can have different volumes of liquid inside. That means that they can hold the same, you can put the same amount in, but the two containers that are the same might have different amounts put in them. Maybe you put more in one container than the other. Now time for our shout outs. Idris has done some more amazing work in maths. He's been comparing different weights with cubes. Well done, Idris. Tiana has done some lovely measuring and some lovely drawing with her measuring. Well done, Tiana. And Aditi, here is another clever way that Aditi has made a balance scale at home. So she got a clothes hanger and attached some cups with string so she could put things in the different cups. Well done, Aditi. Remember, if you want your work to be shown in the YouTube video, you need to send it to your teacher in the Year 1 email.